It all started from an email. I was checking my inbox, packed full of emails that I'm just way too lazy to unsubscribe to, when I come across one from a woman named Veronica. I thought, well, this could be interesting. Maybe she wants to go out. But boy, was I further from the truth. The email that she sent me had the potential to be life-changing. But let's back up. I mean, where have I been these past few months? I know most of you don't care, but just bear with me. I started Unity a few years back with the goal in mind to become the next big indie dev. My career began with a wonderful game, The Floor is Lava, a speedrun game where you have to avoid obstacles and make it to the end in the fastest time. It was wonderfully received. A lot of good criticism, but I knew it was bound to fail. The generic title and gameplay would make it hard to compete in a store saturated full of excellent AAA quality games of the same exact name. Next, I undertook the motto, if you can't do, teach. And that's where I found my real success. Releasing tutorial after tutorial, I was so excited. And the reception was even better this time. All of this engagement, it kept me going. But I was longing for something more. I mean, sure, it would be great to have a tutorial channel on YouTube. I was on a path. Until the requests started pouring in. Look, I know you're supposed to listen to the audience, but hell, I don't deal well with directions, so let me just put it out there. Part 5 of Valorant series is like Half-Life 3. The only way you're going to get it is if you find Doctor Strange, have him teleport you to the quantum realm, find my doppelganger, and give him $100,000. I put his Cash App in the description below. On to the meaty stuff. The tutorials were doing great. Boring, but great. My other videos were kind of flops. Even after the hours I was putting into them, they just weren't good enough. And that would be fine if I was having fun with them, but I really wasn't. Finally, I was blessed with an opportunity to take my Unity proficiency into the professional world. A real job as a real Unity developer. A place to showcase my skills. I mean, I guess all those boring tutorials were finally paying off. I got to work with artists and other devs to create something that people would actually use. You know, we worked tirelessly for months and the project was done, and then you know how that goes. Once the project's finished, you take the team and throw them in the incinerator. I did get lucky though. As I was getting laid off, I was fortunate enough to land another job in the same sector. Finally, here I am, making money as a Unity developer with a secure job, because I'm working 5 projects at the same time. It couldn't get any better. But then the projects started piling up, 5, 6. Integrate AR here, get VR here, integrate the UI here. It started to feel like I was juggling 6 bowling balls with an elephant tied around my junk. Every day I'd show up to work with no official taskings, but a multitude of projects that have imminent deadlines. A lot of work and not enough time, so burnout hit. I started to fall into a funk. Not only was I getting burnout on my job, but I started to fall out of touch with the one thing I really wanted. Create a subpar YouTube channel. One after the other, things were falling apart. In order to maintain my work quality, everything else started to fall to the wayside. My relationships with my family began to struggle. I didn't want to do anything after work except binge watch YouTube or TV. I was at white privilege rock bottom. But then I opened my inbox and then I got the email. I read it and I replied as fast as I could. I scheduled a call. Did Facebook really want me? The interview process goes like this. The recruiter reaches out and sees if you're a good fit, and if all the dominoes fall into place, you get a tech interview. Well, all the dominoes fell into place. The recruiter told me that I had 3 weeks before my tech interview, and that it would be heavily focused on data structures and algorithms. I was able to confirm that I was ready, and then I Googled what any sensible person in my position would. What the fuck is an algorithm? In order to prepare, I went to the one place online I figured could help. YouTube, which then sent me to LeetCode. I jumped in with both feet. Let's get this going. Let's start with an easy problem. Given 2 strings S and T, determine if they are isomorphic. 2 strings S and T are isomorphic if the characters in S can be replaced to get T. This is easy? Back to YouTube it was. I basically hopped between YouTube and LeetCode to see if I could memorize some of these solutions before the time came. And finally, it was the day. My day to prove that after all that time, I was able to learn something. I wasn't expecting much. I entered the Zoom call a nice 15 minutes early just to sit there and have a panic attack. My interviewer, let's call him Luke, arrived right on time. He asked me a few questions which I managed to hand jam through, and the interview was over. It's been 2 weeks and I haven't heard anything, so still not bad. But this opportunity has rejuvenated me. It's shown me that in the seemingly narrow path of being a Unity developer, there is room to advance. There is room to grow. And even with the results unknown, I still feel like I've gotten some insight, maybe some creativity, and at least enough motivation to finish this video. I guess what I'm trying to get at here is that we all fall on hard times. Sometimes life can be so mundane or overwhelming that it becomes too difficult to handle. But the best part is that can change in an instant. A small, seemingly insignificant event can jumpstart you to move on. In my case, it was a completely platonic email from Veronica. But for everyone, it's different. I'm not trying to have this be some sort of sob story or one of those crappy motivational videos. Hell, I don't even know if this appeals to my audience. But what I do feel is I have a new life. I'm more driven now to think of creative projects to put on my YouTube channel. I want to be able to produce high quality content and share it with you guys. And if that means, all-nighters or not watching TV at 1 a.m., I don't know. So be it. Let me close on this. That even if you get a job doing something that you love, it will eventually become mundane. The reason I keep coming back to YouTube is because it isn't a job. I don't feel forced to meet deadlines or make my hours. I do YouTube because I love it. If I could do YouTube full time, of course I would. But I would do my best to approach it from a genuine place of enjoyment. Do that, and satisfaction will follow. Sure, it's good to have a high-paying, high-powered job, but it'll get you nowhere in the long run. Find what you love, find time for it, screw the money, screw the bad attitude. You will be happier, you will feel good, and you will be amazed by the results. As for now, I'll sit here with my thumb in my ass waiting for Facebook to respond, and if it's a yes, of course I'll go back to being consumed by work and unhappy, but hey, at least I'll be working for Facebook.